Hi, Year 10. It is now time for lesson 2. This may be just like seconds after you stopped lesson 1, or it might maybe you have the double another day. So it may be the same day or maybe a different day, but welcome back to week 2, and it's now lesson 2. Title is still Mi Instituto. So if you can write that in your book, please, along with the date, con la fecha, y subrayad con una regla. So underline it with a ruler, please. Right, today we are looking at, if I can get this to work. Okay, it worked without me clicking it. Okay, let's just have a look. Today what we're looking at as a starter is to solve some anagrams, please. You need to find 6 nouns for school facilities. You saw all of these words yesterday, so hopefully you recognize these very quickly. Pause the video while you do the work and then start up again when you're ready. So, presuming you're starting up again now, you should have, oh, sorry about that. I thought they were going to reveal one at a time, but I didn't do that. I've just put them all up in one go. So the first one was los vestuarios. Número 2, muchas aulas. Número 3, unas canchas de tenis. Número 4, un gimnasio. Número 5, un patio. Y número 6, un césped artificial. Changing rooms, lots of classrooms, some tennis courts, a gym, a playground, an all-weather pitch. Okay, that's your first task. Once you've corrected those, move on. So the objectives for this week, we're looking, as I said, at vocab to describe school life now and in the past, primary school and so on, and looking at vocab learnt by doing some writing. We'll be setting targets later in the week. Okay, so for this lesson, first of all, here we go. There is a reading exercise, first of all. I want you to look at, there are 6 statements, and I want you to know if they are true, false, or not mentioned. So the reading I've had to put as a picture here. On the left-hand side here, you've got the statements. Number 1 is there's an indoor swimming pool and an athletics track. Is that true, false, or not mentioned? It's a specialist school with modern classrooms. True, false, or not mentioned, and so on. You'll need to stop the video here or pause it, please, while you do the work. When you are ready, resume the video and we will correct it. Okay, so here are the answers, and we're going to just go back and look at the passage in a second and see why these are the answers. You should have the first one, false. Well, let's have a look and go back and do this properly. So, indoor swimming pool and an athletics track, that is false. Because in the middle here it says, no tenemos ni piscina ni pista de atletismo. So we don't have. And if you look here, ni and ni, you've got that around these nouns. Neither a swimming pool nor an athletics track. So no tenemos ni piscina ni pista de atletismo. Now you don't need the word for you don't say ni una piscina ni una pista, because normally if you have a negative, you don't use the indefinite article. So I have a dog, tengo un perro. I don't have a dog, no tengo perro. All right, so normally if you're saying you don't have something or there isn't something, a negative doesn't need to have the, oh, I'm so sorry, my cat, the cat loves the zooming. Right. So no indefinite article there. No tenemos ni piscina ni pista de atletismo. Number 2, it's a specialist school with modern classrooms. That is true. If you look at the second or the first sort of bit here, aulas modernas are modern classrooms. It's a specialist school because it says at the bottom here, lo bueno es que mi colegio es una autoescuela. It's an eco-escuela rather. Un eco-escuela is a eco school. So it's specialized in that respect. Okay. There are too many school rules. That's not mentioned. There doesn't mention school rules in here. Las reglas or las normas. They're not mentioned, so that would be LM. Monica does not like wearing uniform. It's true. She says, oh, I'm so sorry, it keeps doing this. in the bottom, lo malo es que llevamos uniforme. Que lata. Right, lo malo es que, the bad thing is that we wear a uniform. So clearly she doesn't like it. So number 4 is true as a statement. Couple of things here. You've got lo bueno, we had before, lo bueno es que. Lo malo es que, the good thing is that, the bad thing is that. So please can you write those down as things to learn and to remember. The last phrase there, que lata, is said in the objectives we were going to look at exclamations. And that's an exclamation. Que lata is what a drag, what a pain. It's a mixed state school is statement number 5. And that is false. Where is it said that? Because at the top it says, I go to a private girls' school. Un colegio femenino privado. Now that's probably why she needs to wear a uniform, because the general thing in Spain is that if you go to a state school, so open to everybody, then they don't wear a uniform. If you go to a private school, i.e. one you're paying for, then you need to wear a uniform. The last one here, number 6, the lessons start at 9 and end at 4 in the afternoon. That is true. It says here, las clases empiezan a las 9 y terminan a las 4. They start at 9 and finish at 4. So false, true, not mentioned, true, false, true. And hopefully, as I've talked you through that, I've highlighted the things that you need to know. Now, if I'm highlighting them, if I'm saying, well, look at this, make note of that, then please do so. Because there's no point in me putting this up and flagging them up if you don't make a note of them. So please note these things down and then maybe look for other examples as we go through the lesson. Thank you very much. Okay, so you've got to pause the video, check your work. When you're ready, move on. Okay, so I'm assuming you are now ready to move on. My internet isn't, because it seems to have paused. Oh, here we go. So just a bit of extra vocab, please. I want you to think of what are the opposites of these adjectives. They're straightforward. Grande, moderno, bonito, limpio, cálido, tranquilo y agradable. So those are all positive adjectives. I want to know what their negative equivalents are, please. Pause the video, write them down, 2 lists. When you're ready, start it up again. Okay, so I'm assuming you've got the work done now. So we've got grande. The negative version, or the opposite of that, is pequeño. It's not necessarily negative, I suppose, but it's the opposite. Moderno, modern. Antiguo, old. Bonito is pretty or attractive. Feo is ugly. Limpio, clean. Sucio, dirty. Cálido is warm. Frío is cold. Tranquilo is peaceful, quiet. Ruidoso, hay mucho ruido, there's lots of noise. This is noisy, the adjective ruidoso. And agradable, pleasant. Desagradable, unpleasant. So please can you write down those adjectives which you could use to describe your school? Is it big? Is it modern? Is it cold? Is it noisy? Is it unpleasant? Is it small or old? Okay, so write those down, and when you're ready, move on. Okay, so now we're going to do a reading. Now this is going to take you some time. You need to pause the video and you need to read through these, there's 7 descriptions. We've got Susana, Roberto, Samuel, David, Rocío, Marta, y Sara. So they're all talking about their schools. They're talking about the school day, when things start and when they finish, their preferences about subjects that they like, that they're not so keen on, how they get to school, maybe different times of the year. You saw the seasons last lesson, primavera, verano, invierno, and otoño. So they mentioned those. These nice expressions here, lo malo de, the bad thing about my school. Here a bit more about weather, when it rains, cuando llueve. Lots about facilities, piscina, gimnasio. I've got campo de fútbol, the piscina again, biblioteca, canchas de tenis. Un patio. So all lots of things about facilities. There is a huge amount of information here, please. So what I want you to do, please, is to go through them and make notes on the key things that they all mention. So Susanna, you might write down Sunny, if Sunny walks, likes walking, it's relaxing, likes doing exercise, economical, cheap. All right, so write the person's name and the key information you've got from each person, please. So do that now. It'll take you 10 minutes, I should think. It's quite a lot of information here. So 10, 12 minutes. Make a note of their names. The exercise is leer, so write down leer, and then make notes in English, please, on each person. Pause the video now to do that, and when you are ready, then you can move on. Okay, so you should have now a lot of information written down in English on all of these people, talking about what they like, what they don't like, how they get to school, what their school has. What you're now going to do, I think my internet is suffering here because it's taking a long time to go. So you need to write down the name, please, of these people according to the information you had. So for example, the first one, this is really struggling, this internet now. Okay, Susanna is down at the bottom here. She's got someone doing exercise. Picture of someone doing exercise, someone walking, something to do with money. So it's good value, maybe it's cheap. And the weather, the sunny weather. So go back to Susanna in the previous slide. Here she was. When it's sunny, I walk to school. I like walking because it's relaxing and I love doing exercise. Also, it's cheap. All right, so that means that in that next to those pictures, icons, you have got Susanna's name written because that fits what she's put down. So I'm going to say, can you please pause the video, look back at the information that you extracted and wrote down for each person, and then find the place that gives you the best, find the icons which give you the best fit for the person that you've, for each person who's written. Okay, I'm going to give you, that'll take you a good around 10 minutes as well, I would have thought, or maybe a bit less. Write down the names, please. You have 8 pictures here, but you've only got 7 descriptions. So one people's description and one person's description isn't represented here with a set of pictures. Okay, pause the video, off you go. Okay, so I'm assuming you've resumed the video, and let's have a look and see what you've got. You should have Susanna, as we said, there. At the top, it should be Roberto. Samuel was down at the bottom there. They've got a gym, a swimming pool, goes by bus, the coach. Rocío, when it rains, they go by car. He talks about the cafeteria or the dining hall. David talks about summer or spring, walking and sort of walking, and then also going by car, depending on the weather, depending on the season. Marta, okay, loves science there. We've got a library. I'm not quite sure, I can't remember without looking back as to what she liked about the music. Next one is Sarah. Okay, now she talked about friends raining and going by bike when it's raining. Over here, you've got this didn't represent anybody. Okay, so that one should be blank. If you're not sure, go back to the previous slide and check the information you got. Okay, so pause the video while you do that, and when you're ready, move on. Okay, now you need to do some writing here, please. On the left-hand side is all the information you will need to answer these questions. The questions, so ¿dónde estudias? ¿Cómo es tu instituto? ¿Qué tiene o qué hay en tu instituto? ¿Qué es lo bueno de tu instituto? ¿Qué es lo que más te gusta de tu instituto? What do you like most? ¿Cuántos alumnos hay? ¿Y cuántos profesores hay? How many pupils are there? How many teachers are there? So this isn't a lengthy writing exercise, but I want you just to answer the questions in Spanish, please. This side gives you the model to use. Here are the questions. So, oh, sorry, everything's popping up. Here's the sort of model, if you like, to use. So use that as a support, as a resource to help you write your own full answers, please. Okay, so ¿dónde estudias? Maybe estudio en mi instituto que se llama Weydon. Weydon está en Farnham y está en el sur de Inglaterra. Es un instituto mixto. All right, so that's the sort of thing. For ¿cómo es tu instituto? You might have something like, what's your school like? Bueno, mi instituto es muy grande. La mayoría de los edificios son modernos. The majority of buildings are modern. Tenemos instalaciones de deporte muy buenas, very good sports facilities. No sé, el salón de actos es muy nuevo y amplio. So the hall is very new and spacious. So use the support here to help you write these answers. Okay, pause the video, do that please, and move on when you're ready. Okay, just if you've, I said pause the video, and then I was going to say as well, think about write it with the question as well, so you can look back and see what you are answering. Okay, so hopefully now you've got the questions and the answers written in full with some detail. You've thought about adjective agreements and verbs. Please now upload a picture of your answers. Okay, to Google Classroom, upload your pictures. And here, just to remind you, is what we're doing this week. School life, present imperfect, talking about primary schools, learning exclamations, and doing some writing. Now, the bit that's lacking from here so far is the imperfect tense, and that's what we will be doing in lesson 3. Okay, but just for a moment, go back here and say thank you very much for your hard work in lesson 2. Make sure you upload a picture, please, of the answers to the writing that I've asked you for. Y gracias y adiós.